Richflood is a leading continental provider of environmental and social due diligence services for investments in Africa. The firm works closely with investors and leaders in the public and private sector of different with its current activities. Richflood have established partnership in the United States of America and United Kingdom with operational partnership in a few African countries, namely South Africa, Egypt, Democratic Republic of Congo, and Rwanda, with its headquarters in Abuja, Nigeria. Taking its place in solving burning global environmental challenges, the firm provides professional advice on greenhouse gas emissions, including decarbonization, impact mitigations for diverse investment project spectrum, and climate change adaptation approach for most vulnerable countries in Africa. Finally, Richflood helps clients meet international lenders' requirements when sourcing funds from donors or international banks, such as AfDB and AFC. The following are the housekeeping rules we would like you to follow for a successful session. First, we implore you to mute yourself for maximum efficiency in the course of this event. Also, you can tender your questions or suggestions in the chat box by indicating your name in full and where you work, that is your organization, agency, or community, so that when you make a comment or ask a question, we'll be able to identify you. The agenda for this meeting is as displayed on our screen. Right now, I will hand over to the Chief Operating Officer of Richflood International Limited for the introductory speech. Over to you, Mr. Prince.
Good day, everyone, and welcome to this important meeting, which is the Stakeholders Engagement Program for the proposed KAIAMA Integrated CASSAVA STARCH Production Project. Richflood International is an environmental and social governance consultant which is committed to helping individuals and organizations to meet up with environmental compliance requirements in Nigeria. As part of regulatory requirements guiding developmental projects, an environmental impact assessment is to be carried out in accordance with EIA Act Cap E12 LFN 2004. This act makes it mandatory for proponents of certain categories of developmental projects to carry out environmental impact assessments as a way of assessing the impact a project will have on the environment. Having said that, stakeholders engagement is one of the key activities carried out as part of the process of undertaking environmental and social impact assessment for developmental projects, whereby all the stakeholders converge to deliberate and share ideas on how they are impacted by the project. The information and suggestions from the various stakeholders will further guide in assessing the impact of the proposed project and preferring measures to mitigate the likely impact that the proposed project may have on the environment. I implore everyone to actively participate in the discussion and wish us a fruitful deliberation. At this juncture, let me hand over to the moderator for the next agenda in the program. Mrs. Adeola, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. Prince. As part of measures to ensure that relevant stakeholders are carried along for the Stakeholders Engagement Program, invitation messages were sent out to all impacted and interested attendees for this program. Various stakeholders from the Federal Ministry of Environment, Abuja, Federal Ministry of Environment, Kwara State, Federal Ministry of Agriculture, Abuja, Kwara State Ministry of Agriculture, Kwara State Agricultural Development Project, the NESDRIA, we have the host community, we have staff and representatives from H&W Starch Derivatives Company Limited, we have NGOs, we have the public at large. Now, I will hand over to Mr. Ukeme Yellow, who will give us a recap of the previous Stakeholders Engagement Program. Over to you, Mr.
For joining us in this first edition of Online Stakeholders Engagement Program for this project. This is a departure from our usual approach to engaging stakeholders as part of EIA process. The online engagement is based on the need to limit or harness the application of digital technology in the EIA process. By way of information, stakeholders engagement is a continuous process undertaken throughout the stages of the developmental project execution. Based on this, the first stakeholders engagement for the H&W STARCH Derivative project was carried out on the 18th of June 2020 at the Chief's Palace, Kwara, in KAIAMA local government area of Kwara State. The meeting had in attendance about 30 participants, cutting across the representatives of the Federal Ministry of Environment, the host community, the proponents, and other key stakeholders. The proposed project was disclosed to the various stakeholders and the activities to be undertaken during the process. The project proponent has a robust corporate social responsibility commitment to the community. As highlighted during the former stakeholders engagement program, H&W had executed projects such as renovation of classroom blocks, provision of a new transformer, and drilling of borehole, amongst others. The community expressed happiness on the CASSAVA state with the company and other stakeholders throughout the stages of the project lifespan.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. for taking us through savings and
government for the proposed KAIAMA integrated the project location now. The proposed KAIAMA integrated cassava starch production project is located in Kwara community in KAIAMA local government area of Kwara State, Nigeria. And the project location is approximately 140 kilometers northwest of Ilorin, the state capital of Kwara State. The nearest airport is in Ilorin, which is the state capital. The site is located next to the northern border between Oyo and Kwara State along the Kishi-KAIAMA road which is along the trunk A7 road of the federal government. The project area is moderately populated, and there are some communities that surround the site along the KICSPP road. Those communities include Moshegada, Gwarawizi, Tese, and Gwaria. The project host communities are dominated by Boko tribe, which speaks Bokobaru dialect, and other languages with which they communicate include Yoruba and Hausa. This is the map of Nigeria that is highlighting Kwara State, and also we have the map of Kwara State that is highlighting KAIAMA local government area. Also, we have the accessibility map of the project site, which shows how we can get to the project site from KAIAMA, which is the local government headquarters, and then Ilorin, which is the state, the capital of the state. Also, we have the colored contour map of the area within and around the project site. Also, we have the 3D topographic map of the project site, the project area, the altitude ranges between 290 and 400 meters above the sea level. This is also the land use land cover map of the project site. The red color is delineating the built-up area. The gray color is delineating the vegetation, whereby the water body is represented with the blue color. So those are the major land use of the area. Also, we have the geologic map of the area. The area is majorly dominated with granite, schist, and migmatite rocks. So let me just brush through the project description. There are two main components of the proposed project. The first one is the cassava cultivation estate, where the cultivation and production of cassava will be taking place. The species of the cassava to be cultivated is the TME 410 variety. And then the second component of the project is the starch processing plant, where the cassava that is being cultivated will be processed into industrial starch for the local food processing industries and pharmaceutical companies. So those are the two major targets, the local food processing industries and the pharmaceutical companies in Nigeria. The harvested cassava will serve as input for the starch processing plant equipment, with processing input capacity of 400 tons of cassava per day and an estimated output of 100 tons of cassava of starch per day. About 95% of the cassava will be sourced from the in-grower and the outgrower scheme, and the remaining 5% will be sourced from the captive farm. About 1,800 farmers have indicated their interest and registered for the in-grower scheme, and the proposed source of water is underground repository, which will be tapped by borehole, with estimated maximum heat of 80 tons per hour. 100% workforce for the project will be sourced locally. So this is the legal and the regulatory framework for the EIA. We have the Environmental Impact Assessment Act, CAP E12-11 2004. We also have the National Environmental Protection Effluent Limitations Regulation 1991. We have the National Environmental Protection Pollution Abatement in Industry Producing Waste Regulation 1991 as well. We have the Wild Animals Preservation Act. We have the Standard Organization of Nigeria Act, Chapter 412. We have the National Environmental Standards and Regulation Enforcement Agency Act 2007. We have the Nigeria Factories Act, number 16 of 1987. We have the Kwara State Ministry of Environment Regulatory Framework as well. We have the World Health Organization Health and Safety Components of EIA 1987. We have the IFC's Performance Standards on Social and Environmental Sustainability. We have the Forestry Law Cap 51 1994, and we have the Endangered Species Act Cap E9 LFN 2004. So all these legal and regulatory frameworks are the laws that will be guiding the EIA Act for this particular project. So there are set dates for this project. The first one, which is holding presently, and then we have 3 subsequent ones. The next one will be holding on the 17th of August. We have another one that will be held on the 17th of September, and then we will have the last one, which will be holding on the 17th of October 2020 by 3 p.m. prompt. So these are the stakeholders that we are engaging presently as pertaining to the project. We have the Federal Ministry of Environment, we have the Federal Ministry of Agriculture as well, we have the National Environmental Standard and Regulatory Agency, the federal, and then the Kwara State. We have the Kwara State Ministry of Environment, we have the Kwara State Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, we have the Kwara State Ministry of Water Resources, we have the Kwara State Ministry of Enterprise, we have the Kwara State Ministry of Information and Communication, we have the Kwara State Ministry of Education and Human Capital Development, we have the Nigeria Police Force, Kwara State, we have the Agricultural Development Project KAIAMA Zonal Office, we have the KAIAMA local government as well, we have the H&W STARCH Derivative Limited, which is the proponent, the owner of the project, and we have the host communities. In the host community, we have key informants, we have men, we have women group, we have youth group, and all these, they cut across the 4 major communities that are surrounding the project site, which is Moshigada, Gwarawizi, Tese, and Gwaria. So this is the terms of reference for the study. For the purpose of this EIA, 2-season data gathering was approved, and studies are ongoing on the following biophysical and socio-economic components of the environment. We have the soil studies, we have the air quality and noise studies, we have the surface water, we have studies for the groundwater as well, we have study for the biodiversity, and then we have the socio-economic study, in which this online stakeholders engagement meeting is part of it. So we have some passive impacts of the proposed project. One of the positive impacts is that it's going to create job opportunities for the people, especially the host communities. It will also enhance the development of amenities and infrastructural facilities within the community. It will also improve on the economic status of the stakeholder community due to increased demand for local goods and services. The starch market will cause an expansion to the food and beverage industry, innovation in the food system, and increase in affordability of the starch product. Also, the byproduct, which include cassava peels, the fiber, and other related waste, will be converted to animal feed, while the liquid waste will be carried to the effluent treatment plant, where it will be treated to save life before it is being released into the ecosystem. And the anticipated negative impact include loss of biodiversity, dust generation, and gaseous emissions. But as part of the ongoing EIA studies, mitigation plans will be made in order to eliminate or reduce all these negative impact to as low as reasonably practicable. So thank you very much. Over to you, the moderator.
Thank you, Mr. Sunday, for that wonderful presentation on the project description. You have been able to give us good insights into what the project is all about, and still went as far as telling us the impact that are likely to emanate from the project activities, cutting across the beneficial and the adverse impact. Now, before we continue, I would like to recognize the presence of some personnel in our midst in this meeting today. We have the proponents among the list of participants from H&W STARCH Derivatives Limited. You are welcome into this meeting, sir.
Thank you very much. Hello.
Okay, sir, I'm with you, sir.
Hello. Yeah, I say thank you very much.
Thank you, ma. I'm happy to join you, ma.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lawal Rahman.
Yeah, thank you very much, ma.
You're welcome, sir. If you don't mind, I would like you to rename yourself so that you add the name of the company to your name, maybe in a bracket. You just have it
Okay.
so that we identify you. Thank you, sir. Also, we have another representative of the proponents in our midst, Mr. Dele Ogunlade. I'm trying to unmute you. We can hear from you now. You are welcome into our midst, sir.
Thank you very much.
It's good to have you in this meeting. You can as well rename yourself so that we would have a perfect understanding of who we have in our midst. Thank you very much, sir. Also, I would like to recognize the presence of the Chief Executive Officer of Richflood International Limited. She is also in our midst today. Ma, I would like you to welcome everyone.
Thank you very much.
Over to you, Ma.
Thank you, Mrs. Adeola, for the introduction, and thank you, Mr. Ojo Sunday, for the presentation you have made. And thank you, the host community, for being here. We are happy to have you in our midst because you are a very key stakeholder in this process. And also thank you to Mr. Dele Ogunlade, who is the leader of the project, the proponent himself. Thank you for making it to this meeting. Everyone, thank you for coming. My name is Comfort Asokoro Ogaji. Thanks for coming for this meeting, and we hope to have you to come another time. The meeting is still on because we are going to have comment sections and chat sections. I hope you can see your chat area so that you can make your contributions by sending a message, either a question or a comment that you have. You can send it to the chat button, and the team will attend to okay. So the team will attend to the question immediately it is received. It could be a question, it could be a comment. So as much as possible, we want to carry along all the major stakeholders, interested persons and impacted persons on this project as much as possible. Mr. Sunday has listed the target stakeholders that we have on this project, but we are open to comments, to inputs from anybody and from anywhere in order to promote the sustainability of the project. So I thank you, Kwara State Ministry. I can see you, Mr. Sunday Ajide. Thank you for making it. You are a very key stakeholder. We are happy that you came. And I won't be able to know the offices of everybody that is here because we only have the names. It would be very good that when you write your name, then in brackets, you can put the organization that you represent. That will help us to be able to discuss on point with you. So thank you, Mr. Sunday, for joining. Thank you, Mr. Dele again. And thank you, very importantly, the host community for putting yourselves together in, I don't know the location, maybe is in the palace or is, I don't know, wherever it is you are able to gather yourselves. This shows that you are committed to being part of this process, and we really appreciate it that you are here. So finally, before I hand over to the facilitator, this is the first online stakeholder meeting for this project. So we assume that a lot of us must be having some technical hitches, trying to convert to online platforms, and this is new, but we are going to make sure that we perfect the process as we go, and we also help you in any way possible that we can help you to seamlessly join subsequent meetings. So this is more like a test run to make sure that you can join the meeting without much hitches, and if there are hitches, that you are able to solve it. The next one, I believe, that's 17th of next month. I believe that you will be able to join early enough because we joined late, most of us, either because we couldn't link up with the audio or one issue or the other. So I will hand over now to Mrs. Adeola back at Richflood office in Abuja, and wish you a very smooth and successful deliberation on the project. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you very much, Ma. We appreciate your comments. Okay, during the course of your discussion, Ma, we have some other representative from the Agricultural Development Project in Kwara State is among us as well. And then we have the community members, the host community members of H&W Starch Derivatives Limited. Warrior community members, you are welcome into this meeting. I would also like you to unmute yourself and say one thing or the other. Just welcome to this meeting. Okay, if they're unable to get that done, let's proceed. Having heard the presentation from the project manager, okay, at this point, we'll give room to stakeholders' inputs and questions on the discussion. Please follow the description on your screen for questions or inputs. If you have contributions or questions, please follow the description that is being displayed on the screen right now so that we can take all the questions and respond to them. But first, we would like the representatives of the community to make their remarks. Representative from the host community to unmute himself now and make his remark. Thank you. Over to you, community. Yes, you are up. Just speak, we can hear you.
Yeah, I am Adam Sabe from Korea.
Yes,
really
please
happy
continue. I
with
can hear you.
the
You're
presence of
welcome, sir.
Start production. We really appreciate their effort. And at the same time, there are a lot of benefits we've gotten from them, like drilling of boreholes, motorized boreholes in Korea, construction of a clinic at Tese, construction of drilling of one borehole at Grawisi, and so many other things. And there was also a support of some amount of huge amount of money to complete the construction of our Corpus Lodge in Korea. So we really appreciate them. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I can see everyone is all gathered here. Everyone looking at the screen right now would be able to see the community members. They are all well seated with their nose masks, and they have really observed social distancing. This is a good one. Thank you very much. If there is any other representative who would like to say something, you can just come up and let's hear you. Thank you. Over to you, host community.
Thank you very much, SK. Tremendous effort towards the community development is much appreciated because we can see that in future to come, by the time this project will come on board, employment to our youth in the community, it will serve as an ease to food production. Just like when we have this lockdown, there was a problem of food. But by the time this project come up, it will also complement the effort of feeding and to serve as something generation to the community. Thank you very much for your attention.
All right. Thank you very much. It's good to have you here. I can see you are all looking good. And it's good to note that the proponent has actually been committed to their corporate social responsibility. And I'm glad that the community members acknowledge that. Now, Mr. Lawal from Agricultural Development Project is raising his hand. Okay, so I will mute you now to speak. Over to you, Mr. Lawal. Oh, okay, the community members still have something to say. Another representative, you can just come up and speak, please. Another representative from the community.
Things we are waiting for you.
Good afternoon, ma. We don't have much to say that to appreciate the effort of L.G.A and Williams. So we really thank them for their effort. Actually, on the assistance from them, if possible. So actually, the project being given to us so far, alhamdulillah, we still more. We still need more if possible. Thank you very much. That is my contribution.
Okay, a very wonderful one from you there. Thank you very much for that acknowledgement.
Thank you very much. I am L.G.A. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I am L.G.A. for your community.
Oh, welcome, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Okay. I think that's all from the community members. Now I will take other stakeholders who are in our midst in the meeting today to also say one thing or the other. It could be the representative from the ministry or even the staff from the Agricultural Development Project. Anybody else who would like to say something, you can either use the raising of hand button so that you can be unmuted, or you unmute yourself and speak. I'll give allowance for that now. For anyone, contributions, inputs from any of the stakeholders in the participants list. Okay.
Hello?
I can hear you. Speak on.
Hello? Hello, ma. Hello?
Yes, Mr. Lawal, I'm with you.
Yeah, thank you very much, ma. And on behalf of the Kwara State Ministry of Agric and we really appreciate of bringing in our own son as a your ever successful. And then on behalf of the Ministry of Agric and Kwara ADP, we really determine and
Okay, thank you.
Our effort to the success of the project by providing necessary extent committed to render all the necessary Kwara State of Agric. And then I know that that very community you pick, they will really, put their contribution, and also they will determine to. Thank you very much once more. May God Almighty spare our life to witness the success of the project. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. It's really nice to have you here.
Thank you, ma. Thank you.
And
thank you. Thank you.
We are grateful. We have subsequent meetings.
Thank you.
This is not just the meeting that we are going to have with the stakeholders. We are still going to have subsequent meetings in which invites will still be sent to you after today. And having registered for this one, you actually automatically qualify to still partake in the subsequent meeting. The next meeting will be held on the 17th of August. 17th of August, the same 3 p.m. Also by September, on the 17th, we'll have another meeting. And by October 17 or so, we'll have another meeting. So if there are some inputs or contributions you would like to make concerning this project, which by one reason or the other you are unable to make today, at the subsequent meetings, you will have the opportunity to make those contributions and inputs. But today we are really grateful. We appreciate your turn up. We thank you for your contribution. And then before we wrap up, I would like the proponent to also make a contribution. He has heard it all from the community members, from the representative, from the agencies, and even from other participants in our midst. So we'd like the proponents to also say one thing or the other. Mr. Dele Ogunlade, I will hand over to you now to speak.
Thank you very much. Let me start by appreciating the contributions of the government representatives and the host community. I'm so impressed by what I have had this morning, this afternoon, and I will carry the message home. We try to do our best, but even then, our best is yet to come. So as described in the presentation earlier, the project is going to be a combination of farming and the processing of cassava into starch, industrial starch for the production of food products, and with our main off-takers, envisaged off-takers as Nestle, Unilever, and the other food-producing companies in the country. We have decided that the community will be a major beneficiary of whatever we are doing, because the community has come out to be a very friendly community and they deserve to be recognized as such. I'm so grateful to them and I thank them. So we intend to engage the community in our farming almost 100%. almost 100%. The element of the company's captive farm that we want to do is going to be just experimental, so that, you know, a model farm that the farmers can look at and copy. You know, that would be there right in the heart of the farm, whereas the remaining part of the land we have is going to be allocated to the local farmers. And then we are going to support them financially to make sure that they do a good job. By the time they do the farming for 1 or 2 years, they will have become such experts in the country that other people from other parts of the country will come to see them in action. So then when the factory comes online, on stream, a lot of the local community too will be engaged there for those people who are qualified. So the primary beneficiaries of the project are going to be the local community. Products are going to be sold in Nigeria, but if we have surplus, because we are going to produce international standard products, then we will also export if necessary, and then with that improve the income of the country generally. So once again, we thank the participants, we thank you, the organizers, and we are forever grateful to the host community, where I now see myself as a native, because by the time I go there, my first point of call is always at the Emir's palace. And by the time I'm able to spend enough time there, they will know that I am now a son of the soil, like they say in a part of the Southwest. So thank you very much, and may God bless you all.
Thank you very much, sir. We are also glad. Now we have the Kwara State Ministry of Environment representative in our midst, and you would also like to contribute before we bring this meeting to a close. Mr. Sunday Akinjude Ajide, okay? I will unmute you now. I'm trying to unmute you. Just unmute yourself from your hand and speak. Over to you, Mr. Sunday Ajide.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Perfectly well. You're welcome, sir.
Okay, my name is Ajide Sunday, Director, Ministry of Environment. It's nice having you people here today, and we want to appreciate the proponents for the interest and passion that it has for the Kwara State to bring this project to this community, and hopefully we believe that it will be a benefit and to the community and to the entire Kwara State generally. However, we want to appeal that every necessary procedure should be put in place to make the project is friendly, that it has no any negative impact on our people. And I believe the consultant or whosoever handle the project must have put everything in place, like the waste management, like other identified negative impacts that may have negative impact on our people, so that at the end of it, you might have a friendly project in the state and in the community. I want to thank you all on behalf of the Honorable Commissioner for Ministry of Environment, Kwara State. Thank you very much.
Okay, Director, sir, thank you very much for joining us today. And yes, just like you said, Richflood is the ESG consultant. And we have mentioned during the presentation that although the studies and investigations are still ongoing, however, all the anticipated impacts of this project will be well taken care of. The beneficial impacts measures will be put in place to enhance them, while the negative impacts measures will also be put in place to reduce or even eliminate them, or those that cannot be eliminated completely, will reduce them to as low as reasonably practicable. And there is going to be a robust environmental management plan, which will cover all the phases of the project and the activities to take care of any challenge that could result from the project operations. Thank you very much, sir. That was a very wonderful one. Now I will hand over to the CEO of Richflood International Limited for the closing remarks. Over to you, ma.
Ladies and gentlemen, from different spectrum of stakeholders that we have invited, being from the community, from the ministries of environment, agriculture, and other stakeholders. I want to thank you for taking your time to attend this meeting. It is very critical in the environmental impact assessment procedure. This meeting is critically important. It is of high importance to engage with stakeholders at different levels on the proposed project. So we will, by next meeting, which is 17th of next month, our lucky number for this program is 17th of every month for the next 3 months. For now, we will decide if we have to do more engagements after that. But every 17th of the month is the lucky number for us to do a stakeholders engagement meeting like this, so that we carry along all the major stakeholders that needs to be carried along from the communities, from the states, and from federal level, including international. Any interested party, when we are willing to carry them along in this process. So I thank you for attending, and I want to plead with the community to please, next time, we know that this is the first time, and we are trying to learn the entire process. You know, it's the same all over the world. So, but next time we would like you to help you bring along our women. Maybe because I'm a woman, so maybe I have come again with my women story, right? But we need you to please come with our women to this meeting. I can see the youth is well represented. The men are well represented, but the women, we would like you to please let them come with their representatives, so that we can be sure that we have captured them. And also, if there are disabled people in the community, we would like to also have them in attendance. We will send you different groups of people that we would plead with you that next time you should help us put them together so that they participate fully in this process. There are so many reasons why we want to make sure that these people are captured, and these reasons we will communicate to you in our next meeting. And also in our next meeting, we would like to inform you that we will get a Yoruba interpreter as well, because this project is located in a place where the major language in the area is Yoruba language. So we will get an interpreter who will not go too fast, but will go steady and slowly, and explain to most especially our community people about the project, about how the project is perceived positively and how the project is perceived negatively, and what has been put in place based on our services that we are rendering, our environmental and social services that we are rendering. We are consulting with you, we are interviewing you, we are capturing your opinions to make sure that we have a very robust document. So this document is going to go very far in the hands of the proponent. The proponent has asked us to put together what we think is the positive and negative impact of this project, and that they want to enhance the positive impact and as much as possible eliminate or reduce the negative impacts. So I want us to have that in mind while we are coming for this engagement. Please come prepared. Next time, we have done the test run. We are happy that the test run was successful by this your participation. But next time, I want you to come ready. I want you to come prepared with all the other people that we want to capture as stakeholders. We want them to be there. Please help us to coordinate and let them be present. So the impacts for the project in summary has been captured and has been presented. And so far, so good. We do not have major, significant, irreversible impacts. My grammar may be too much. Next time, we will explain in simple Yoruba language. So we do not have any major issue of concern. Rather, we are celebrating that the project has a lot of positive impact for the community. Livelihoods are going to be made improved, not reduced. So it's a livelihood improvements kind of project, which should be welcome and applauded. So having said that, please, we still want you to be active throughout this stakeholders engagement period. We thank the government people that are represented. We will need more people next time, please. We will need more people to just join us by registering and joining online. The online meeting is also having a lot of positive benefits. It's having a lot of benefits because from anywhere in your house, anywhere you are in your office, you can join. Before we have to travel and travel and travel, but now it can easily be done. So we need a lot of interested and stakeholders that are supposed to be part of it based on their office and based on their duties to the people. We would like them to be present next time more than this number that we have. So I thank you again for taking your time. Thank you, Mr. Sunday Ajide, for coming. I'm trying to follow the names again. Gwaria community, I hail you all. Thank you for making it. Maybe I'm not pronouncing your name very well. Forgive me, please. And I see that you have two locations, Gwaria Community 1, Gwaria Community 2, Host Community 3. Wow, thank you for coming. We need more videos from the community. We want you to set up more and more next time, please. 17th of next month is our date. Please note it in your diary and in your reminder. I thank you again and also thank the proponent again for this project, which is centered on the people. The majority benefit is centered on the people. Thank you for conceptualizing this project and making out time to do this investment that you are doing. So I send my regards to the community leaders. Please, the chiefs, the entire hierarchy, forgive me, I don't have it written. Please, my regards to them. And I wish you not safe journey again because you are at home, but I wish you a very good evening and my regards to your entire family. Goodbye from me and good night. Okay, Mrs. Adiola, I am through. Over to you. I hope you can still hear me. I hope you heard me all the while. I am done, and over to you, Mrs. Adiola.
Yes, ma'am, I heard you perfectly well, and I'm still here too. Thank you very much for the wonderful speech. We really appreciate you, especially shedding more light on the fact that the proponent has saddled us with the responsibility of preparing a robust environmental management plan to manage all impacts of their project, which is already ongoing. Thank you very much, Ma. And then thank you everyone for joining us once again. We hope to see you again next month on the 17th of August 2020. The time still remains 3 p.m. Thanks and have a wonderful evening.
Well done, nice coordination.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Victor. Thank you very much from Unique Mappers Network, Nigeria. Thanks for joining us. We hope to have you here again next month. Thank you very much.
Thank you too. You're most welcome. The meeting was awesome. Well done.